You are now tuned into another episode of
Let's go!
Queer and Cool.
Coming straight from Miami to your home.
Woo!
DJ and web developer Bree Daddy discussing raw,
Vulnerable, and cutthroat topics in the queer community.
This is Queer and Cool.
Yo, welcome back to Queer and Cool. It's your girl Bree Daddy. We got Woofy Socks in the building. What's poppin'?
What's up?
Danny!
That's me. What's going on, guys?
Let me tell y'all something real quick. Around last weekend, I want to say, I was just scrolling through Instagram because you know what? By time y'all really probably go through the season, y'all will still see that I've had a good amount of women on this podcast. And listen, this is Queer and Cool, meaning queer is all of us. Women, men, non-binary, trans, like it's all of us. And I didn't want to give people the impression that this is only for lesbians. And while Miami does lack in the lesbian community as far as like the bars and stuff like that, my goal is all around for queer representation. So
that's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? I was chopping it up with some homegirls, and I was like, yo, I really gotta find some more men or masculine men or feminine men. Like, it did not matter to me. Like, I just needed more men. And I realized that one of my, not biggest issues, but the challenge was having men that are willing to speak. Men ultimately don't have the opportunity to speak on their emotions, being vulnerable, body, like anything, even their sexuality. You know, one thing about men is they don't get the same favoritism as women do when we come out as being lesbian or, you know, bisexual. We are often sexualized. As in men, they're often put down. So I can understand why it was hard to find a man. But let me tell y'all something. The moment that I connected with Mr. Whoopi Sacks, it was a wrap.
You felt it.
I was like, I almost wanted to just go get a drink with him because I just felt your energy. So I just want to thank you for one, responding to me and just joining, because I know it's not the easiest, but you sure as hell know how to make it look easy to just love yourself, embrace yourself.
It's definitely not easy. Definitely not easy.
Yes, and we're going to get into that because
sure.
You know what? We have to talk about these things because this is, and like I said, this is any woman, you can take whatever you want for this, but the men need to hear this today because about body image, sexuality, you know, just confidence within yourself. Like there's just so much to really take in, to the point that I almost feel like I'm also going to have to bring him back eventually. So shout out to the podcast party at the end of the season because I will drag him for his house and make sure that he's there, honey.
I'm not far.
Listen, honey, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am, believe it or not, I am 41.
Shut the fuck up, for real?
Yeah, I just turned 41 in March.
Oh, March what?
March 6th.
I'm March 8th.
Get out, Pisces power. Yes, that's why the vibe is there. That's why it's there.
It makes sense because we have that crackhead energy. It makes sense.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm 41. Right now, I was, before the pandemic, doing a lot of paralegal work, working for a foreclosure law firm. Pandemic hit, and it was a small boutique firm, so they kind of like shut down. So,
wow. Okay.
You know, so I had to find my means of, you know, doing other work, and I had the camera equipment.
Okay.
You know, and I had, you know, a few people in the adult scenes. So I reached out to a few, and bada boom, bada bing, I started doing camera work, behind the scenes stuff, and they just kind of opened it up to that whole side. Oh,
now, just to be clear, for those who, I already know what you mean by camera scene, because I'm a freak.
Yes.
But what is like the camera scene? Is like, is it your OnlyFans? Is it?
Well, I do my OnlyFans, for me, and then I do
okay.
camera work behind the scenes, editing, and camera work for other creators as well as large creators.
So that's already 2 streams of income. So you left that job and got 2 streams of income.
I sure did.
Congratulations. Because the way that you pivoted in this pandemic, as you say, is not how a lot of people did. You know, it was definitely hard. And me, I'm not from Miami, but I noticed that a lot of my friends in Miami did struggle with the pandemic. So shout out to you for really creating like your own path during that, because you know what, as a Pisces, like we are always in our head. We
Always.
can be emotional. And the fact that you really took an opportunity for yourself and you ran with it and you like look at now. Look at you now.
Listen, you gotta hustle sometimes, you know?
Ooh, child. Like listen, if you're a real Pisces, that hustle is instilled in you. So
Right.
I know that's right. All right. And tell me a little fun fact about yourself. Because you're just fun.
Thank you. Fun fact about me, believe it or not, when I go to the beach, shout out to Hollover if you guys know where all about Hollover. Fish love to swim around me.
Wow.
I guess it's the energy, you know, that Pisces energy. All the time. Yes. I go in, they just start swarming around me.
Oh my God.
And to the point where sometimes they start bumping, I get a little, freaked out. I gotta get my ass out of there. I'm like, oh no, you know, you ain't got no pants on, you know, so you gotta, hop out, you know what I'm saying? So, but
oh my God.
That's a little fun fact. Fish love me.
Oh my God. Yes, when you had told me that, I had thought to myself, I was like, I wonder if he's a Pisces or a water sign. So, like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And I've never been a Hollover, believe it or not. And you know what? It's not because of, like, what's there. Like, truly, I guess every time I went to the beach, I just always forgot about the idea of Hollover. Yeah. And I told my sis, like, I was like, yo, next time you come down here, because she was in Pittsburgh, I was like, we might have to go check that spot out. Like,
it's definitely more sexualized than what it really is. Yeah. Because it's more of like a freeing. Like, for me, it was more freeing. Like, getting to take all your clothes off, being out and letting the air hit you in those spots that it never hits you. Ooh! You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, of course, you got the eye candy all around. Yeah, you know
yeah, definitely.
But it's beautiful. I love it.
I'm going to have to check it out because one thing about Bree, I love being naked.
Yeah.
Okay?
Exactly.
I be walking around my house naked, like my coffee, doing my work. Like, I get a lot more done naked than I do with clothes on. So, I love that. And that brings me to your Instagram page because, you know what, I was so drawn to you because I have gay friends and gay men friends and stuff like that I'm sure, like, I could just be like, hey, like, do you want to hop on? But what drawn me to you is how much you love your body.
Yes.
I 100% love that. You know why? Because one thing, especially living in Miami and being a gay man, I always see, like, this, like, average, like, broad shoulder, 6 to 8 pack. And let me tell y'all something. And it's not knocking them either because good for them. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, it's, like, good. Like, they look good, too. But I'm like, where my bigger men at? Like,
Where's my plus size queens?
Where's my plus size queens? I mean? Like, listen, I got hips too. Like, where's the men with this and that? Like,
exactly.
Like, even some of my gay male friends, they don't care to have like this like Orange Theory Fitness model as a boyfriend. Like, you know, so I was like, but it's always them on the flyers or them on the
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? It's
the
like
representation
where
is not there.
And I don't like that. And you know, at least shout out to my plus size woman. At least I see that transition over time where they're starting to appreciate more plus size women. Like, now it's not all about being skinny no more and, you know, being a size 0 through size 6. Like, now it's like I see the plus size representation. People are paying literally to become bigger. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People are paying for BBLs and this and that to get more hips, more ass, more tits. As in back then, like, that wasn't, it was still a thing, but it wasn't as much of a thing. So I see the representation in plus size women, but I don't see that with plus size men. And I love how you represent yourself. You love your body. You be showing off that ass. Like,
Puerto Rican got a lot of it. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Puerto Rico. So I'm like, when I came across your page, I was like, nah, I'm gonna get him on here. Like, it was like, you know, it's Pisces. Like, when we want something, we want it. And I was like, nah, I'm gonna get him on here because he loves himself. He loves his body. He represents himself well. And this, from this point on, like, I just want to keep promoting that kind of body positivity because it's not about anything else. It's not like I'm bashing skinny folks or people that are fit. Like I said, much respect to y'all, but plus size bodies matter too. And I love that. And we don't have that, the Lizzo of men. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's like, damn, I gotta bring him on here because he's represented himself so well that when shit blows up, even on this podcast, I want him to be the one to be on here because you deserve that.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Definitely, it's like underrepresented, like in like plus size men. Period. I mean, you're like you said, you're seeing a lot of plus size women like walking those runways nowadays. And that's great.
Yeah.
I actually have a really good friend of mine who's on Instagram also, Addy. He's also doing plus size walking runways now too.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the one who's. I mean, he inspired me. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Addy.
Yeah, big shout out to him. And I mean, it just needs to be more men out there like doing their thing.
Man, and you know what? You know what the biggest thing is? It's not marketed well. Like, it's not marketed, like, you know, globally well. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I know I'm a lesbian woman, so I know I might not be the target market for, like, the gay man and stuff. So, obviously, I understand that. But let me tell you something. When something's marketed well, it's going to be marketed well globally. And I'm only hoping that from this point on, and in the future, that we get to see more of the plus size men and stuff. Like, I don't want to only see the plus size men when I go on Fashion Nova looking for some joggers for my fat ass, because my ass is big. Damn it! Like my actual frame is like a medium, and then when you get to the hips, it's extra large. So,
listen, that's why Spandex is my best friend sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You need that little extra stretch. You know what I mean?
So I'm like, damn. Like, so yes, the representation is definitely needed. And I hope that he keeps it up. I hope you keep it up. I hope there's more events like that. Because I'm not going to lie, that was my first time hearing about that. Like, really? I didn't know they had like these plus size shows and like, what?
There's not a lot of them, but they're out there. They're out there.
I hope they just keep growing because it's well deserved, man. So let me ask you, like, are you from Miami originally?
No.
Where are you from?
I was born and raised in a small town of Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Oh, I know about Fayetteville.
Oh,
That's the midpoint between here and Philly. So yeah, like when I drive up there, I usually stop in Philly. Not Philly, obviously I stop in Philly because I'm driving there. But sometimes I stop in Fayetteville, Charlotte, or Columbia, South Carolina. But like those like areas are kind of like the midpoint. Yeah. So I know about Fayetteville or Charleston. Okay. But okay.
Yeah, military brat. My dad was in the military. I mean.
Yep, military brat too.
Yeah, Fort Bragg, born and raised. Yeah.
Wow. So. Ooh,
I'm all over that spectrum.
When did you move here to Miami?
I moved to Miami when I was like in middle school. I think I was maybe. I mean, I was young. I was a young teen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and at what part of your life did you come out as a gay?
Oof. I mean, coming to Miami was a culture shock, first of all.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because in North Carolina, we was very, like, Southern, you know, things we don't talk about, military family on top of that. So, I mean, coming here, I came out in high school, and that in itself was torture.
Of course.
You know, 'cause I came out, and like I said, Pisces, when I do something, I do it big.
Yep.
You know, so gays weren't just not around in the school at all.
Right.
So my sophomore year, I decided to wear. I literally got a white T-shirt, wrote the word "gay," drew a rainbow, and went to school. Of course, I had my everything covered when I got on the bus and whatever. As soon as I hit that the school streets, I was like, dude. Because if my mom would have saw that, because I wasn't out. I came out when like way later, like almost my senior year.
Oh wow.
Let me tell you, I didn't come out on my own. I was pushed out.
Oh my God! You know what? Ugh. We literally like, as like queer and cool, and just like some folks I talk to, you wouldn't believe how many people have told me that they've had to be pushed out. Like they didn't voluntarily go to their parents and say I'm gay, especially the men.
Man, it sucks.
Especially the men, because it's like, for one, some parents truly know, but if you're a parent, please, 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 please let your child come out to you. It's nothing worse than feeling forced to come out. It's almost like
even if you know,
even if you know, even if you know, like one thing I could be grateful about is my parents did not do that. I got to come out to them. I'm sure my mom had questions. Don't get me wrong, like like any other parent. I mean,
for sure.
She had questions, but she didn't force me to come out. So, and then it really helped me because I never worried about my parents not accepting me because I knew that they were accepting me, but I think it was more like just for me. Like, I just didn't know if I was just dealing with like conflicting feelings at the time. So, like, I do.
Oh no, girl, I was terrified. I was a military dad. He was like away on like business doing stuff. I forget what he was doing. I don't know if he was away doing army stuff or he was away doing like tech stuff. But it was only my mom and brother. And I was terrified.
And I can only imagine as a man because you know what, like woman, it's easier for a woman to come out. It's like, especially nowadays, and I'm sure back then than it is a man.
Yeah.
And you know what, I totally relate because I do have military parents, so like they still have that thick lining, you know. But like I said, I am a woman, and to be honest, it was easier for my dad because now I'm not gonna get pregnant. Yeah. So he doesn't have to worry about that.
Listen, the first thing my brother asked me was like, "Oh, you're gonna be what, RuPaul now?" And I was like, you know, so you're right that, you know, toxic masculinity was already in play. You know what I mean? I was like, no, I'm just gonna be me. You know
exactly.
I mean, now I like wearing dresses and stuff, but that has nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But that's you embracing your feminine side.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with you trying to be. And you know, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, it's those kind of comments or that kind of like assumption, like that. Oh, he's gay and now he's gonna want to be a girl. No, that's not what I'm saying.
At all. But again, it's that toxic masculinity. Like, it's drilled into you, especially coming from a military family. Like,
yeah, they're definitely have my preservation about some military parents, and not talking about mine, but just in general from just even dating other people who have military parents. Like, yeah, I understand. It's hard because they have some strict ass beliefs because they come from a time where it wasn't even the don't ask, don't tell. It was truly like, if you're gay, you have to get out of the military.
Yeah.
Like, so
mind you, I was born in the 80s.
Yeah, I was about to say, and you told me you're 41, so you was born in the 80s, so,
back then, it just wasn't talked about. Like, mind you, I found out about sex in general on my own, know, which was terrifying. I had to teach myself. You know, I didn't have anybody to teach me, like, you know, anything gay or whatever. I was literally going to Barnes and Nobles, going into like school libraries, you know, finding the book, you know, The Joy of Gay Sex, you know, with little black and white drawings, teaching myself, because who am I going to talk to? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes talking to yourself is really not the best.
No.
Have you ever found like some kind of outlet like to talk to, like whether it been like a older boyfriend or a partner or a friend, like, or just someone in the community?
I'm thankful for like my school. They had especially after you know, I came out, you know, in school. They ended up putting a program together for, you know, the queers in the school. Yeah. And it was a little program where the guidance counselor was there, and we would get out of our, you know, a period in school, and we would like, get to talk about, you know, things, you know, ourselves, sex, you know, how I identify, you know, things of that nature. So okay. That was my guidance counselor was amazing. Good. I mean, that's definitely not judgmental whatsoever, which by looking at him, you would think the opposite. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm glad that you at least have those resources because I did not grow up in Miami, so I'm not sure exactly like how, you know, the educational system is. I taught at a school for 1 year in Hollywood, Florida, and let me tell you something. It was a religious school, and that was definitely not a thing. Yeah. So I'm not sure as far as like outside of that. And even me, I came to college in Miami, and it was a Catholic university, so there was no outlets for the LGBTQ community, and I thought that was so wrong because they had so many outlets for different things that would still be considered a sin. Right. But it's like when it came to queer folks, it's like, oh no, we can't have that. We don't believe in that. And I'm like, well, you guys are giving out free condoms and doing this and doing that. Is that not a sin?
Yeah. It's very contradictory. It's
very contradictory. So why can't I have my feelings about me being heartbroken by a girl or something? I just want to talk to somebody.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Shit! Fuck!
I'll tell you, religion is a touchy subject, but it's like, it's so hypocritical sometimes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I ran into a lot of hypocritical situations because I was a gay woman. So, you know, like I said, like, shout out to my gay men because y'all truly get it worse. It doesn't matter if it does matter if you're black or Hispanic because we're already minorities and we're not another minority in a minority situation. But black, white, red, like, y'all get it worse than average women mostly in general. Unless you're truly in the closet, like, we cannot tell if you're gay or not. Like, if you're out there as a gay man, salute to you, especially if you're really, like, holding it together because we see you. Truly. We see y'all. Like, y'all keeping it 100 with yourselves, and I'm trying to keep it 100 with y'all. Like, I'm trying to really make that difference in the community because that representation matters, you know. Absolutely. One thing I talked about with my friends, especially even the last recording that we had, we lack representation with the lesbian community in the bars and the club settings and stuff. But I also have to appreciate that you guys do have that because that might be all y'all got.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I have to say. Like, I never say, oh, we need less. If anything, I'm like, oh, I can't wait until we have some lesbian bars and lesbian this and lesbian that, because that's something I'm just looking for. Shit, I just want to leave my house, and I live in fucking Tamarack.
Okay, I hear you.
I just want to enjoy myself. But I appreciate
But that's why representation is needed.
Exactly.
Because if they don't know the other guys are around, and there's a big community of, then they're not going to bring anybody, clubs or any promotions.
And I hope that there actually ends up being more, like, just in general, queer communities and queer bars and queer this, because we're fucking here. It's a whole large community.
I know.
But
especially with that don't say gay crap. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh
that's
my
like
God.
It's like a whole other subject.
Honestly, that's another reason why I did start this podcast, because I was like, oh no, they're really trying to shut us out again.
And they're just trying to silence us and erase it, period.
Yeah, no. Not happening. So let's talk about you a little bit. So you came out in high school, like, and I know you fully really came out more in, your senior year, but tell me something from coming out in high school to now. What would you have told your younger self now?
Oof.
What's some advice you would give to your younger self?
Don't listen to the masses. Do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Do what you enjoy. Do what you love.
Mm.
When I was younger, I stopped. I was stopped from my parents telling me, like, I love music. Yeah. I was a singer, a songwriter. Back in the day, yeah. I got a little bit of pipes on me.
Us Pisces be talented.
100%. Yeah. 100%. I'm not just saying that to be narcissistic, but
no, 100%. We are.
And I was just stopped from doing what I wanted to do because I wasn't the easiest kid growing up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
And sometimes those things were doing gay things, sneaking out of the house to go to gay clubs to find out, what I enjoy, what I like.
Right.
And sometimes I got caught. They wouldn't know where I was, but I still got caught.
Right.
So I wasn't, in choir, I was in musical theater, I was in drama. I wasn't able to do anything. Wow. Even if my grades would, come down to it, mm-hmm. I wasn't allowed to do anything.
Okay, so you felt very restricted.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so one thing I would tell myself is just do you regardless. Mm-hmm. Be strong enough to just do you. Stop listening to the masses, because I listen too much to everybody else saying just listen to your parents, just listen to your parents, don't do anything. And where to get me.
Ugh, I think that is the biggest thing, listen to your parents. But you know what? We all grow up in different generations too. Yeah. They don't have the same opportunities that we have as individuals, number one, let alone the opportunities we have now, even being who we are. So, as much as the world tries to shut us out, there are opportunities for us as queers, especially like today. This opportunity truly wouldn't happen if I didn't find you interesting as a gay man. I'm not trying to interview a cisgendered white straight male.
Boring. I'm just kidding. I love everybody.
Yeah, but it's like those are opportunities that they can get every day on LinkedIn and Indeed, and just stepping outside, they can get opportunities. Yes. But now we are getting more opportunities for being our authentic selves. And speaking of authenticity, because one thing I want to dial in on is how you present yourself, your body image, your body positivity. How and when did you start remaining authentic within your body? Because if y'all look up Wolfie Socks, that man be showing, he be giving us booty, he gives us body, he gives us everything.
Listen, I gotta show the thickness, you know what I mean?
As you should.
But no, it basically comes from stemming, I was always told to cover up. I was always told that I was too fat. I was always told, I can't do this, I can't do that. And again, don't tell me something I can't do, because I'm gonna do it.
Oh, you heard him.
You know what I'm saying? So, it came from that, really.
Yep.
And I just started showing a little bit more of myself. I started seeing the DMs coming in, everybody saying, oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this. You're such an inspiration, and I felt good about myself. So I was like, okay, let me step it up a notch. And I just started telling myself that what I was being told is not true. And started seeing people, like I said, that inspired me, out there doing their thing, and they're plus size, and I'm like, hold on a minute. I'm like, this needs to be shown. So I started saying, no, this needs to be, I need to show myself more, and I shouldn't hide myself. Yep. So I started taking my clothes off.
You heard him. You heard him. He said,
like,
don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
Ow.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was a freak like Whoopi?
What?
I know that's right.
Oh, yes.
No, that's true because you know what? I might have not been told to cover up the whole time. Like, it's not like I grew up Mormon or nothing or Muslim or anything like that. But, you know, as a woman, I've always been told to cover up. And even look at me now, like, I got my whole body covered up. And,
Same, right?
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not, like, honestly, me personally, I just was, like, trying to feel casual today. But you know what? I have to admit, it came out of the fact that I've always been told to cover up. Yeah. Like, I've you know, have friends that love my body and stuff, and I had a huge insecurity with my body, especially honestly recently. I was 240 pounds and I felt so insecure as a woman because I was like, you know, this is the biggest I've ever been. And now I'm 218 because I've been working on my body. But I had to realize this isn't about, and this was a good thing for me. I had to realize it wasn't about the body image. It was truly me. It was like me just being insecure of myself. But I had to think to myself, like, I need to do this for me.
You, yes.
Not for social media,
yep.
Not for this podcast, yep. Okay, not for anything else. It was just, this was me investing in myself to become confident with myself again, only because I knew I was being unhealthy. I was doing a lot of unhealthy things that led to this. But if I just was naturally a plus size person, healthy, it didn't matter, I would be confident in that. Because where I'm at now, like if I know I'm being more healthy, not just having to be plus size, I'm gonna live in that truth. You know, that's the one thing shout out to Lizzo. That's one thing I love about her. I love that she has her show about watch out for the big girls.
I know.
And I love it. You know, Sydney Bell, shout out to Sydney Bell because they truly live in their truth. Lizzo is vegan, okay, and that woman got money, so you know she probably eating good. She could probably have a fucking chef.
She got the trainers if she wanted to. She has. You know what I'm saying?
So, and honestly, if she wanted to go under the knife, she could have been did that. But you see how she's thriving off of her body positivity, and how many people try to shut her out, tell her to wear fucking cover up, you know, mad at her because she's going on her own fucking jet. Okay. With her ass. Bitch, who are you to be mad about her getting on her own jet?
Take it off, girl. Eat that burrito butt naked, okay? Like, do it. You know what I'm saying? I watch her TikToks, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
like, so, you know, like I said, it truly just felt so good to connect with someone like you because you're local, like you're living in your truth too. You're also an influencer. Like I see the stuff people post. I'm like, yo, people love him, and even me. Like I was like, I love this guy. Like this man. Like honestly, to be transparent, like I had showed you to my mom. I showed you to my girl. Like
the good pictures though, right? Yeah. Like the smiling pictures, right?
Well, what pictures are not good?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like let's be honest. Right. And my mom with the shits. Like my mom was like, yo, I love that. I love this. I love.
So my mom wasn't. She's still like the Catholic, whatever. So she's like, I remember the first time I put a booty picture up there, and she was like, Danielle, that's too much. she goes, take that down. And I was like, no. I go, it looks good. I go, that's not even a filter on it. I go, that looks good.
You know what? My mom's Catholic as well. Like she taught CCD and all. Okay, we went through confirmation, all that stuff. But one thing about my mom that I truly, truly love, shout out to you, Mom. She is big on living in your truth. And she also sees, because she moved down here, so she lives down here too, she sees this stuff every day, and she's like, I mean, what's the fucking problem? Yeah. Like, truly, like, what's the fucking problem? You're being yourself, like, and skinny people do it.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, what's the problem when you open up a magazine and you see a buff guy wearing nothing but a thong, and that's fine. Exactly. I go, so why is it a problem when a plus size person puts on a thong and shows the same pose?
Yeah, exactly. And my mom is a plus size woman, so that's why she was like, oh, I love that he does that, because you know what? My mom, and even me, like when I got bigger and stuff, I dealt with a lot of fat phobia too. You know, and it's rampant right now. It's ranking. Okay. It's ranking. Yeah. So especially because y'all are starting to get, you guys are starting to get idolized, and good.
Yeah.
Good. Keep doing that. So that's why my mom was with the shits, because she was like, oh, you know what? Skinny people do it all the time. My mom's born in the fucking 50s. And she's like, I've been seeing skinny people do it since then. So what's the problem now? Why the fuck do y'all think Marilyn Monroe?
Oh my God, I was just going to say, look at Marilyn.
Yeah, look at Marilyn.
She was thick in the hips, you know what I'm saying?
And that's
that
why
was like
she's a
unseen.
legend.
Yes.
Yep, that's why she's a fucking legend. So it's, this is part of living in your truth. And I truly, 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 truly appreciate that. So with living in your truth, guys, because we all, like I just told y'all, I lived my truth. Like I told y'all about how I felt about when I hit 240 and how I felt and all that other good stuff. But
I'm not too far behind you.
Listen.
No, I'm serious. Like this is the biggest I've ever been. Okay, I was involved in a car accident a few years ago.
Me too. That's exactly what happened. I got hit.
Food was my go-to.
Yeah.
I got depressed. I was like, I couldn't, I literally, I had to learn how to walk again. So I broke from my hips to my legs to, my knees were broken. Yeah, I shattered my pelvis, my hip was dislocated, broken thumb, broken femur, knee, I was messed up. And I had to learn how to walk again, and all I could do was eat. I was depressed.
Yeah.
So it was like at my heavy point, I was like, okay, but I still gotta be me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So even at my heaviest, I still do what I do.
How did you deal with any of those insecurities that came from that? Because I truly understand that, because I was hit by 7 cars on I-95. But luckily, I didn't go through all that, but the damage was done not just physically but mentally.
Yeah.
And it was my mental that caused me to gain more weight. On top of that, right after that, the pandemic hit. So no gyms, no this, like the normal things I was used to, like the most convenient things was junk food and just Uber Eats and the fried foods, and
it became a comfort.
I couldn't go to the farmer's market anymore. I couldn't, like, all the places where I was eating all organic and this and that, and I was truly enjoying it.
I never ate organic anyway.
Bitch, I would put you onto some good food. Hold up, because listen,
I like my banana pudding, girl.
I bet I can veganize it.
If you can, let me know.
Please. I got you.
That's my favorite.
I got you. Listen, because honestly, I was eating all the things that I loved eating, but like in a more healthier way. And shout out to YG Farmers Market in Hollywood. They have so many options for things that you like to eat on a regular basis that might not be healthy, but they like veganized it or made it in a healthier way or better things for us to eat. And that's how I was able to maintain, if not lose, the weight that I was gaining and stuff, but all those things were taken away from me. So when you had gotten into that car accident and all those things happened to you, how were you able to deal with any insecurities with your body, if you had any?
It was a lot of meditation and basically telling myself the things I put out there, telling that to myself. That you are loved, that you're beautiful, you're worth respect. You can walk outside and just be loved. You not to take shit from anybody. Basically.
Yep.
And it takes work. I'm not gonna say that you're just gonna wake up and bing, it's like, oh, I'm positive. It takes work. You know what I mean? Right. But that's why I share what I share and like my inspirations. Like I put my affirmations out in the morning. Things that
Yes, I do.
It's not only for people that are watching and and DMing me saying, oh my God, I love your inspirations, because I want to inspire myself. I need to remind myself that what I'm seeing and all, because it comes across my feed, all these muscle boys and everything. But you got to tell yourself, I'm worth it. My body is how it is now, and I got to love myself now. I got to love myself when I'm 10 pounds lighter. I'm going to love myself when I'm 20 pounds lighter. You know what I'm saying? So it just takes work, but you got to push those insecurities out.
I truly appreciate that, because, sometimes people think, like, oh, when you lose weight, they're doing good. No.
And look, not to get into it, but like Kim Kardashian, like she did this horrible diet, whatever it was, to fit into that Marilyn Monroe dress. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Beyonce diet. All these these big fat diets that aren't
those
good
are not
for you.
Always healthy. Those are not healthy
at all. But it's to get thinner for what?
Yep. And at what cost?
Exactly.
And that's also including some people who go and get surgery too. Like especially a lot of my friends, like they dealt with a lot of mental battles after they got surgery, because for one, sometimes you don't lose a whole bunch of weight getting the surgery. Sometimes you might lose a measly 10 pounds, and you gotta wait 6 months to see this progress. And then after that, first off, what have you consumed in these 6 months? Like that might trigger or offset this surgery. So there's so many mental battles that people are dealing with when they're trying to lose weight or fit in or get fit for themselves. And it's like, this isn't always a positive. Like,
No.
losing weight isn't always a positive. You know, like sometimes gaining weight is a positive because some people are underweight. You know, so it's so, you know what I'm saying. So it's like this whole body image and everything that comes with it is so conflicting. It's such a conflicting conversation because it's not always what you see that you think is like, all right, like they're doing good. They dropping weight, or all right, they're doing good because they're putting on weight. Like, at what cost?
Exactly.
At what cost?
There's some people in my DMs that I talk to on the daily that they're thin, and I'm talking about thin. You know, buck 50 wet. You know what I'm saying? But it's like it's too much. You know what I mean? Like, they come into my DM saying, thank you for this, you know, because they're trying to gain weight and they can't gain weight.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, even the skinny, it's the skinny people too.
Yeah,
you know
I agree.
I mean? That's why I say you gotta love your body how it is. And that's why I try to push out body positivity, because it's not just a plus size.
And you do. And you truly do. And I appreciate that because, honestly, like I said, like that's what really truly drawn me to. I mean, it's honestly, I needed it too because I'm going to the gym and I'm working on myself, and like I said, it's for myself. It's for me, not anybody else. But I do need to remember, just like you said, I need to love myself now. I need to love myself if I'm 10 pounds heavier. I need to love myself if I'm 10 pounds lighter. You know, and that's a big takeaway because I've been judged, you know, from family, you know, being Caribbean. You know how it is, like. Even though they're the ones that give us the rice and beans.
Okay. Oh no, you gotta eat more. Oh no, like.
And then when I get bigger, you're like, why are you getting bigger? Why are you giving me rice and beans?
And the first thing they say is, oh, you gain weight.
Well, I wonder why.
Well, Merry Christmas to you too. Hi. I haven't seen you in years.
Feliz Navidad.
Shit.
Like, damn.
You know?
Like, y'all ask me if I'm going to gain weight, but you're giving me the food that makes me gain it.
Seriously, like, oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
And I still eat it and I take home stuff too. You know what I'm saying?
Like, jeez. So, as we're wrapping up and stuff, I also want to ask you like one other thing because, like I said, this is why I was drawn to you. But I know I'm like a woman who has suffered from some body issues because let me tell you something. Being a woman who's masculine presenting, sometimes I suffer from some of those similar issues. There's a lot of studs that have like this physique too. You know, like the six pack and all this other stuff that's masculine. And let me tell you one thing about Bree. Bree's gonna have her fupa. Okay.
Hello, and I mean, I'm full body. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, like
I get you.
I got my fupa, I got my ass, honey. And even if I was to be fit, even in my fittest moments when I was 158 at 5'7", I always had an ass. Same. I always had something to me, something like that's my genetic makeup. And I dealt with a lot of body dysmorphia because I was like, damn, like, am I supposed to look like this as a gay, masculine woman? And I was like, you know what? Shout out to the people that I've truly dated in my life because only a few, but not all, have made me feel some type of way. So I truly appreciate that. But how, as a gay man, and the fact that you live in your truth, how have you been able to connect with others because of how confident you are in your body, whether it's been Instagram followers, partners, boyfriends, like anything? Like, tell me a little bit about your experience because I think it's beautiful just having you here. That's how we connected. Okay. So I can only imagine how you've inspired others.
Trust me, my DMs are, lit up. You know, some of them are more sexually inclined, you know, but there are those in there that, and usually those are the ones I respond to. Where, you know, you inspire me, you know, I love your OnlyFans. Thank you so much for making that, you know, it helped me, you know, start my own, you know. People would ask me, because I started doing YouTube a little while ago, back in the day. And they were telling me, like, you know, I don't have, you know, the confidence to do it. And I was like, why? You know, and I would ask them, you know, just why? Oh, no, because I got to lose weight. And I go, but then you're going to lose weight, and then what? You know, your ideas are still going to be there. Your artistic style is still going to be there. Start it now. You know, so it's always, you know, people coming to my DMs telling me, you know, thank you for inspiration, thank you for making me, you know, wake up today, you know, help me, you know, walk outside. Those things to me, I'm like, wow, you know, like the little things that I do, you know, on my social platforms help somebody enough to like take a shower. You know, you know, love themselves a little bit more to like, you know, go outside. There's some people, especially with the pandemic, people gain that weight. You know, the pandemic way, and they were like, "Oh my God, I can't show myself." I was you know, one of those people. You know,
I'm a victim.
Okay, but again, telling my own affirmations to myself, like, no, I can't. I'm worthy enough. I'm respected enough, and I deserve and I need love.
Amen. You know what I mean? and deserve it, and you are love.
Exactly.
You are love.
And I gotta just tell them, all bodies are beautiful, whether you're 120 pounds or 800 pounds. You know what I'm saying? It's about how you represent yourself, the confidence. I always tell them confidence is key. You know what I mean?
And has your OnlyFans also helped you become more confident with your body and self?
100%.
I know that's the fuck.
100%. 100%. I had people, my subscribers, want me to eat on camera.
Just to eat.
Just to, be naked and just eat. I'm like,
As
okay.
you should.
All right.
As you should. I'm going to have my cake and...
Eat it too. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, like I said, do what you love and you'll be repaid.
Amen.
Literally repaid.
Man, Mr. Woofy Socks himself said, man, I'm so happy that you came on this podcast.
Thank you for having me. It was fun.
And trust me, you will be back. Because I already know that this is gonna touch so many lives. Like just like you said, like people reach out to you just to wake up and take a shower.
Yeah.
Like, and it gets like that. Like some people get so depressed or just going through that they don't want to do the normal things that we did as kids. Like wake up, go take a bath.
Well, others find so easy to do.
Like what people, people that's a routine for others, and for others that's a struggle.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to highlight is, what, I felt like that before too about feel like I had to lose weight to go do this, and I'm so glad you said that because even me just took a mental note. Like, you know what, I don't need to go lose weight just to go start a podcast, or I don't need to lose weight to go take that fucking photo shoot, or I don't need to lose weight to go to that party,
Exactly.
Like Pride, for example. Some of my friends didn't want to go Pride because they were like, oh, like, I don't look good, but...
Bitch, I bought a see-through caftan for to wear to Pride, okay? And literally, it's see-through.
Man.
Put 2 little X's on my nipples and let's go.
And call it a day. Man, I'm so proud to have you. Woofy Socks in the building. We're going to drop his Instagram. We're going to drop his Twitter. Anything that you want, like, we're going to drop it. Bree Daddy in the building. Thank you for tuning in to Queer Cool. And I'll catch you next time. We're going to catch you at that podcast party.
But I'll be there.
This is Queer and Cool.